I'd like to start with a question. Which are the Kreplach and which are the dim sum? I once asked an audience, what's the difference between Shabbat in your community and Shabbat in Hong Kong? And someone yelled out, well, in Hong Kong, the Jews go out for American food. So we've noted one similarity between the two cultures, and we're going to explore some others. I offer this presentation in light of my experience working with the Jews of China. I was the cantor for the United Jewish Congregation of Hong Kong, and I officiated at the first bar mitzvah ever celebrated in Beijing.
So Elise invited me to officiate at her son Ari's bar mitzvah. It was going to be the first bar mitzvah that was ever held in Beijing. Now Ari's dad, Michael Lee, his family was from China. When the communists took over in 1949, they fled China and they eventually made their way to New York. Elise met her husband Michael when she worked in his family's Chinese restaurant in New York. Now the ironic thing about this bar mitzvah though is that Elise's mom, the bubby of the family, lived with them in Beijing, and Ari's Chinese grandparents had to come in for the bar mitzvah in New York.
I've been working with the Jewish communities in Hong Kong, Beijing, and Shanghai for close to 30 years. And I also lead Jewish heritage tours to China. So it was my work with the Jews of China that got me interested in exploring the history of Jews in China. Jews started coming to China as early as the 8th to 9th century. Merchants and traders followed the Silk Road to a city called Kaifeng. The first known synagogue in Kaifeng was built in 1163. At its height during the Ming Dynasty, it was a fully functioning Jewish community with a rabbi, a kosher butcher, and a mikveh. It's said that the community owned 13 Torahs, one for each of the 12 tribes of Israel and an additional one for Moses. In the mid-1800s, Mizrahi Jews, originally from Baghdad, established successful businesses in the treaty ports of China. And during World War II, Shanghai was one of the only places on earth that would accept Jewish refugees. As a result, 20,000 European Jews survived the Holocaust by finding shelter in Shanghai. During one of my recent Jewish heritage tours to China, we visited the Temple of Heaven Park in Beijing and came across a group of Chinese that gathered together to sing Chinese songs. Here they are. One of my colleagues challenged me to bring this melody to Shabbat services. And I took him up on his challenge because, after all, Jewish music has been influenced by the music in the countries where Jews have lived all over the world for centuries. So here's how I set this Chinese melody to Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi. She